The way the Indiana Fever is playing right now is simply sensational. Now, Caitlin Clark has not been announced when she will return back, but there has been footage released online of Caitlin Clark actually shooting logo threes, and I believe she's actually back in practice participating. Now, when they was playing the Aces, I don't think she participated in that practice. Neither did she participate in the practice for the Lynx game either. So she's definitely back in practice. Now, just like I stated, they haven't.
The Indiana Fever's star player has been sidelined for a considerable duration, yet her return to action seems close at hand. During her time away from competition, the franchise has maintained strong results, claiming consecutive wins and showing remarkable progress. Their next challenge involves facing the Los Angeles Sparks with a subsequent meeting against the Valkyries scheduled afterward. Although the Valkyries previously overcame Indiana in their earlier confrontation, the Fever's current trajectory indicates a potentially different result in their next encounter.
Kelsey Mitchell at this point has to be implemented in the MVP conversation in all shape, form, and fashion, bro. I just got to be honest. Now, moving forward, what is things going to look like for the Indiana Fever? And this is something I got to tell you. Things is going to look magnificent, spectacular, bro. Trust me when I tell you this. Now, ESPN analysts and many other people is pretty much calling this team a better team without Caitlin Clark, pretty much saying they're playing faster, they're playing better without her. No, it's not. Caitlin Clark was.
Training videos have surfaced displaying the absent player practicing extended range attempts from deep court positions, suggesting her active involvement in team readiness activities. This represents a notable advancement considering her previous absence from training sessions during contests against the Aces and Lynx. The recordings distributed by Tony East from the Indiana Patriots Network show her focusing on perimeter shooting during workout periods. Nevertheless, no formal declaration has been issued concerning her participation in the forthcoming Sparks contest. The circumstances remain unclear, with supporters anxiously awaiting verification of her playing status.
Haven't said anything about Caitlin Clark actually returning this upcoming game against the Sparks. Hopefully she do. But right now, we just simply don't know yet. Shout out to Tony East from the Indiana Pacers organization. He released this footage earlier of Caitlin Clark actually taking time after practice to shoot these threes.
Coach Stephanie White spoke to reporters about the player's condition, disclosing that the prominent athlete is hesitant to rejoin the team under restricted minutes. The star has previously voiced her disagreement with constrained court time, potentially clarifying her ongoing absence. Though she may be physically ready for competition, information indicates she would face limitations of roughly 20 minutes per contest, a constraint she considers unacceptable.
It's not Caitlin Clark wasn't the issue. DeWanna Bonner was the damn issue. And I got another video coming up breaking it all down. How DeWanna Bonner was the issue and how DeWanna Bonner actually slowed this team down. She was too slow. She couldn't keep up. She was ancient. Oh, bruh. She just could not keep up with everything that was happening. They did the whole motion offense for it's DeWanna Bonner being gone. To me, this is my theory. The reason why they look like this. It ain't because
the mid-season acquisition of Ariana has demonstrated exceptional worth, smoothly blending into the team's framework. She delivers the enthusiasm and adaptability required on both court ends, contributing meaningfully to the team's recent upswing. Her influence has been instant and considerable, addressing important roster deficiencies. Squad cohesion and attitude have similarly developed favorably. Players spoke about accepting flaws and backing teammates through errors, recognizing that basketball naturally involves fluctuations. This perspective change has enabled them to compete more confidently and rely on colleagues during difficult periods.
So as you guys can see from that clip there, man, Caitlin Clark is definitely trying to make her way back, man. She's trying to make her way back into the starting lineup. Now they did speak to the media. I'm gonna kind of fast forward this thing here to
The recent triumph in Minnesota offered a bonding moment for the squad, with players celebrating collectively and reinforcing their personal connections. This fellowship translates directly to game performance, establishing a beneficial cycle of achievement and team solidarity. Competing without one of their top performers has actually enhanced the team's self-assurance. The athletes take satisfaction in their capacity to perform at an elite level despite missing a significant contributor, showcasing their depth.
Honor being gone, to me, this is my theory, the reason why they look like this. It ain't because Caitlin Clark hurt. Now, granted, Caitlin Clark do contribute to a lot of turnovers that turn into points, but that can't make or break the game like that. It's DeWanna Bonner. She was the issue. They were setting up shots for her. She wasn't hitting the shots all the time. And granted, towards the end, I feel like this, knowing what we know now, guys, DeWanna Bonner started making her shots towards the end before she quit the team. To me, I think she was showing her display, hey, I still got it. Let me make my stuff. Now, with all of that being said,
Training recordings continue to generate speculation about the player's approaching return. Her attendance at team functions, combined with her individual skill development, indicates she remains committed and ready for her comeback. The schedule of her return depends mainly on addressing the minutes limitation disagreement between player and coaching personnel. The team's evolution during this time frame has been extraordinary. What initially seemed like a disadvantage has transformed into a chance for other athletes to excel and for the squad to create a more balanced strategy. The mix of enhanced defense, improved chemistry, and contributions from surprising sources has produced a winning approach.
I'm gonna kind of fast forward this thing here to Stephanie White and then go back to the other players. Let's check out what Stephanie White had to say. Roll the footage. We got to be nice to cut the sound off. So basically, Stephanie White is saying that Caitlin Clark do not want to come back and be restricted with minutes. Now, we know Caitlin Clark did speak to the media last injury and said that she refused to do the minutes restriction.
Whether the star returns for the Sparks game or postpones until the minutes restriction matter is settled, the Indiana Fever has proven their capability to compete at the elite level. Their recent success paired with anticipation of her return establishes an exciting atmosphere for the season's remainder. The team's development during
still got it. Let me make my stuff. Now, with all of that being said, she struggled along the stretch in the beginning part of the season. We all synced it. She just was not there. Missing shots, not hitting nothing. It was just a bad look. I just gotta be honest. Now, with all of that being said, let's check out what this ESPN analyst had to say. So just like I said in the first part of this video, bro, people have been saying that, you know what, Caitlin Clark is slowing this team down. They look worse without her. Listen to this right here, guys.
You were at that game just now. Look, the Fever have been on a
The Indiana Fever obtained back-to-back victories during their star's absence, overcoming strong opponents by significant margins. Their 25-point win over the Lynx in the Commissioner's Cup Championship, followed by a 27-point success against the Aces, illustrated the team's abilities without their featured player. These displays have intensified conversations about the team's overall makeup and game approach. Kelsey Mitchell's outstanding play during this period has generated recognition for possible MVP consideration. Her elevated performance has aligned with the team's improved outcomes, highlighting her capability to lead when required. The guard's contributions have been vital in preserving the team's competitive advantage during the Stars' recovery phase.
That could be why we have not seen Caitlin Clark. We do know she possibly could play, but she'll be limited to probably 20 minutes a game. And Caitlin Clark is not willing to do that. Shout out to her for that, but, you know, it is what it is, man. Let's check out what they had to say.
Well, I think it helps her not get in her head. You know, she's a type A perfectionist.
Television analyst Caroline Peck provided commentary suggesting the team functions more efficiently without their star due to her ball-controlling playing approach. Peck contended
worse without her. Listen to this right here, guys.
You were at that game just now. Look, the Fever have been on a tear. They've won 2 in a row, a 25-point blowout of the Lynx in the Commissioner's Cup final, and then 27 against the Aces in this one. In both of those games without Caitlin Clark. How is Indiana getting this done right now?
Look, I think that Indiana is even more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play because
Wow.
she's a ball dominant guard. The ball's in her hands a lot. So you know what you
And this right here, my friends, is something you do not do. Now, there's another.
Bonner's late season enhancement before her departure suggested she maintained her shooting capability, but her overall effect on team dynamics remained doubtful. The timing of her improved performance coincided with her eventual departure from the team, raising questions about her dedication and concentration during earlier struggles. The team's defensive evolution has been especially remarkable during this stretch. Indiana has restricted consecutive opponents below 60 points, including limiting top teams like the Las Vegas Aces and Minnesota Lynx to historically low scoring totals. The Aces particularly were held below 26% shooting, demonstrating the team's defensive intensity and execution.
In her head, she's a type A perfectionist, and she wants everything to go right all the time, and so she's hard on herself. And sometimes when you're
whether it's a practice focus, something you're doing better, where do you feel it the most?
I mean, that's been a focus all year, but I think it really just comes down to us going out there and playing with effort and energy and flying around and trusting each other. And in practice, that's been a main emphasis. And we really just, I think, are buying into helping each other, help each other. And that, I think, translates on the court.
You were sensing this a few.
Coach Stephanie White's strategic modifications have been apparent throughout this period. Her ability to optimize player strengths while implementing effective defensive plans has created a more unified unit. The coaching staff appears to have discovered solutions that better utilize the roster's collective abilities. Aaliyah Boston's advancement has been essential to the team's success. Her transformation from a post-up player in year 1 to a pick-and-roll participant in year 2, and now a playmaker in year 3, demonstrates her growth and flexibility. This development has provided the team with additional offensive choices and court spacing.
you know what you
And this right here, my friends, is something you do not do. Now, there's another clip of this lady from last season when it's talking about the Rookie of the Year. But this lady right here, Caroline Peck, she's a serial hater. And what's crazy is that, we haven't seen a lot of serial haters this year. It seemed like Cheryl Seuss went and hid up under a rock because she can't find a job, and she pretty much keeping her mouth shut. Caroline Peck could be in the same position moving forward. Keep talking like this about Cece.
need to try to take away. But when you look at Indiana now, they've got so many.
The pairing of Kelsey Mitchell's outside play and Aaliyah Boston's inside presence, supported by contributions from players like Ari McDonald, has established a balanced offense that opponents find difficult to stop. This diverse approach reduces dependence on any individual player while maximizing team strengths. The star's presence on the bench during games may be contributing to the team's improved performance in unexpected ways. Her ability to watch the game from a coaching viewpoint while providing guidance to teammates could be enhancing the team's strategic execution and in-game modifications.
Help each other, and that, I think, translates on the court.
You were sensing this a few weeks ago, Kelsey said it last night. How much do you feel like your success on defense is helping your offense?
It's huge. It makes, when we're playing good defense, it loosens us up offensively. We get good shots in transition. We wear out the other team. Really, I think our game starts on that side of the floor, and then everything else comes from there.
You've had mid-season teammates join in the past your time here. Ari seems to be, to me at least, the one who's been the most impactful right away. What do you feel like she's done to do that for you guys?
She's been a steal for us. She's bringing everything that we needed.
The defensive
When you look at Indiana now, they've got so many weapons. And Kelsey Mitchell is playing out of her mind. Aaliyah Boston. I talked to Stephanie White before the game. She said in year 1, Aaliyah Boston was back to the basket. Year 2, two-man game. Year 3, they're using her as a decision maker. And so when you have a point guard like Kelsey Mitchell and Ari McDonald making plays on the perimeter and a post like Aaliyah Boston, I'm going to tell you, Indiana.
The timing of these remarks, coming during a holiday period and following impressive team victories, has increased their impact and generated extensive discussion. The analyst's characterization as a serial critic by detractors reflects the polarized nature of current basketball discourse. Moving forward, the Indiana Fever faces the challenge of maintaining this performance level while potentially reintegrating their star into the lineup. The team's success during her absence provides valuable insights into their depth and adaptability, regardless of the underlying reasons for improvement.
Everything that we needed, energy offensively, energy defensively, she's fit into the system seamlessly. We couldn't ask for more from her. She's doing everything on both ends.
We talk a lot about giving yourself grace. Why is it important for how you play like that? Give yourself grace. I mean, the internal and external.
Yeah, I mean, basketball is a game of up and downs. It's not a flawless game. It's really hard to play a flawless game anytime. And I think as a group, we know that we're not going to make.
The defensive identity established during this period may prove sustainable even with the Stars' return, as the systematic improvements and player development appear to transcend individual personnel decisions. This foundation could serve the team well throughout the remainder of the season.
Aaliyah Boston, I'm going to tell you, Indiana, they are a threat, and specifically on the defensive end.
Now, everything she said after this, everything she said right then and there, them being a threat defensively with a point guard like Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston being able to see the floor the way she's saying it. Gosh, that is true. That is true. I mean, we've seen two consecutive games, guys. We have to take this into account. Now, I'm not going to bash her too bad. We've seen 2 consecutive games. The Indiana Fever.
Whether the improved performance stems from the Stars' absence, coaching adjustments, personnel changes, or a combination of factors, the Indiana Fever has demonstrated their capability to compete at the highest level. This revelation provides optimism for their long-term prospects and competitive positioning within the league.